My name is Vicki Pruitt-Sorrells, and I am the current president of the National Pan-Hellenic Council of Greater Cleveland. The Pan-Hellenic Council is the umbrella organization of what we call as the Divine Nine, which are historically African American fraternities and sororities, particularly the top nine, the larger nine of all of them. And so it is an umbrella organization that was comprised to unify the efforts of the organizations, the sororities, and the fraternities. So growing up in the Lee Harbor area, I was the youngest of, for my father, 7 children. And for my mother, she had 2 girls. But stepmother to the other 5 children, just like they were all her own. So currently I am an educator, and as well I'm a pastor of a church, Lee Heights Community Church, which is located in the same community by which I grew up in, really the one right next to it, Lisaville, where I went to church. I was been a member there for all of my life, and accepted leadership and accepted the call to ministry there. And now I've been serving there in a pastoral position for the past 21 years. I believe the very thing that inspired me to become an educator was my passion for and my wanting to work with young people. I'll be honest, it probably also was me running from the call to ministry because I just didn't think that was where I was supposed to be at the time. But because I kept running from it, I ran into the field of education, and I absolutely love it. I love the opportunity to be able to impact students' lives, parents' lives, people I work with, to have that level of impact in helping people grow. So because I've been a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated for over 33 years, automatically makes me a member of the National Pan-Hellenic Council. So I'll say I've been there for 33 years. Now, actively working here in the greater Cleveland area, it's probably been about 25. I had an opportunity to work with the National Pan-Hellenic Council while I was in college during the 1990s, where I served as an officer there. And then I came back home once I graduated from college. And I told my basilisk or president at the time that I was interested in working with the National Pan-Hellenic Council, and she said okay. And so probably for those past 20-some years, 25 years, I've worked with the Pan-Hellenic Council here in Greater Cleveland. At some points in that time, I've been real active, and some I've kind of laid low, but still very much involved with them. One of the reasons why I wanted to become a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated was because I was really trying to find some way in which to channel, or really to be a part of something bigger and a channel by which to do community service. The reason why I became more active with the Pan-Hellenic Council mainly was because I really liked the idea of coming together and being unified. I did like that. I like the diversity of the groups and how it shows how we can be diverse but all have one common thread that keeps us together, and it's history. It's service. It's taken our community to the next level. And I was a believer, and I still am a believer, that when we work together, we can make a bigger impact on not just our community, but also the community by which we're in, on the job, in the community, and everywhere else. So we have a mission here in Cleveland, which more specifically is just to be a unified effort. Same thing as it is from the national perspective. We don't try to just be something much bigger than the Divine Nine or the other 9 organizations. We're not trying to be the 10th organization, but we're trying to be like an underlining foundation to help move us all in one perspective. So let's just say that when people want to come and ask the Divine Nine, they don't need to go and ask all 9 of us. Just come to the Pan-Hellenic Council. We're able to go and say, collectively, let's do this work together. And so that was the biggest thing that kind of drove me there, was that we were able to do that. What has kept me there is I've had an opportunity to meet people from different organizations and to get away from that that theory at which that people try to make up to say is that we don't get along, but rather we do. We do get along. The only thing that really separates us on many occasions is colors. The National Pan-Hellenic Council is good at trying to engage the younger generation by really impacting or saying to them, we still have to work together. We still must work together, and by us working together, it's not just about who's better at the step, who's better at the stroll, who's better than this, who's better than that, but how do we come together for a greater cause? Right now, we're at a point where not only are we being challenged, we've accepted the challenge to become unified with the election. We do that every year by wanting not only telling ourselves to get out and vote, but we are also all about everything when it comes to the election: voting mobilization, voting registration, voter education, as well as being watchdogs for voter suppression. So we have a unified front when it comes to that. And even on a national perspective, we have many things that bring us together. Looking at health disparities among African American male and females, looking at breast cancer awareness for African American women, looking at ways in which we can build up economic development within our own communities, as well as voting matters. So there's a lot of things that we do together. And I would say that to our young people and in the next generation, because that generation, this generation that we're living in right now, with this young generation, is one who is probably more embracing of all people. And so why not then tell them and encourage them to continue to do that with the National Pan-Hellenic Council of Greater Cleveland, and just the National Pan-Hellenic Council in general. The first thing that we do is we do a lot of work with the HBCU Connect here in Cleveland. So we do a lot of work with that because many of our members went to HBCUs, the Divine Nine, and the historically Black Greek letter organizations are rooted at HBCUs. But that's one way we pull in and we extend ourselves. Another thing that we do, Black Greek Reunion. And so during the Black Greek Reunion, we do that every year in August, second weekend in August, is we do what we do best. And that is we do a little service and we do a little partying. So we have a picnic, and then we also worship together. One of the things that's coming up now that we do, and we open it up, is our worship. We do a worship service that's open to the public in May. And then we also connect with the National Pan-Hellenic Choir here in Cleveland, which is made up of all of the Divine Nine, where we work with them as they give out a scholarship every year to someone who is going into the field of music and arts. We also have done some things with Adopt a Highway. So we have adopted a highway where we go up and we clean and we show the community how we're working together for that. But I believe that the legacy of the National Pan-Hellenic Council, particularly here in Greater Cleveland, is to make sure that we demonstrate and we show where we work together to get a job done. We work together to bring a voice to our community. We work together to bring awareness to things that impact the African American community. I believe that African American history is important because I watch children every day in a school who need to know who they are. And when young people need to know, or are at a place in their development, they need to know who they are so that they can strive to be better. My school that I work with is predominantly African American, and the impact that having history in there and us doing that for them helps them to lift their heads up, helps them to be more proud of who they are, and even helps them to change the way that they act, respond, move, and gives them posture by which to walk every day. That is why African American history is important, because it gives us rooting, and it reminds us of the foundation by which we have come here and by which we are here today. It is very important that we complete the African American Garden, because it not only does it represent, but it gives us a place by which for us to continue to go and reflect, and as well for us to remind our children of the rich history that is here in the city of Cleveland. Not just amongst African American, but so that others will see the impact and the prominence that African Americans had in this city, in this area, in this region. And so it's important that we finish it so that we can continue to move forward. The advice that I would give for the next generation for reaching their goals is, don't get stuck in one space. Find what it is that you love to do, because the ancestors and the people today have made it possible for you to stretch your arms. You don't have to be isolated to one area. You can be free to do what you want. Liberation is possible, and it's attainable for you as far as your goals go, as far as what you want to do in life, and as far as what you want to achieve. Don't be limited.